everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. We
Hello.
are in a tavern, I believe.
Yes, a brothel, Madame Lexam's. And Selkie has been put to work in the kitchens. Howard is a large man who looks like he'd be better suited to wield a battle axe than a frying pan, but here he is, working the kitchens. Despite his gruff exterior, he turns out to be a gentle boss. He puts you to work washing dishes.
Okay.
Do you take to your kitchen duties gracefully, or?
Yes, I have the desire to get involved with some sort of work in this industry, not as a working girl, and not as a not as a kitchen maid. So I'm trying to,
Selkie's got big plans, but she seems to lose her attention quickly and flit from task to task, job to job.
Yes.
Let's
Life of a wild maid.
resolve if you did indeed lose those dwarves, first of all. I think I'll just have you make a hide check. Even though you're not, like, hiding in shadows, you kind of, like, tried to lose them in the streets and in this brothel.
Okay.
So you're going to roll a hide. I'll make an opposed check. I just want to see if they, like, tracked you here, if they know that you're hiding out in this brothel, or if they legitimately were thrown off your trail.
25. Lucky number 25.
They roll a natural one. So they probably came here on a whim, thinking that it might be a reasonable place to hide out, but they don't have any reason to believe you're here. You're free and clear.
Excellent.
So you work in the kitchen for a couple of hours, scrubbing dishes. What does dishwashing work like for Selkie? She doesn't strike me as a patient person.
Certainly not. Quickly, she starts thinking about magical spells that you could use to clean dishes instead of having to do them by hand, because this is a bunch of fucking bullshit. Washing these things by hand, seriously? My God. So I've heard of this mending spell, and I've considered there might be like some sort of soap spell. Maybe I could get like a washing dishes spell, or maybe I could put like there's like an unseen servant spell. Maybe I could get the unseen servant to like
unseen
grab
servant,
a
don't you?
brush. Do I?
I think you do.
I do, but I don't have it
Memorized.
memorized for today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe there's a way to unseen servant the dishes.
Yeah. Seeing you lost in a daydream, Howard says to you, "Come on, kid, stay focused.
There's a better way, Howard. There's a better way.
Be grateful they don't have you washing laundry here."
The thought brings great horror to Selkie's mind, and she fervently
Come
goes
on,
back to the
get
dishes.
scrubbing. All right, so a few hours later, there is a visitor to the kitchen. Hearing the approach, the heavy footfall, you assume that it's Misty coming back. And you turn and look, and you see someone that looks similar to Misty, a heavy-set, busty woman. Only this one is older. Perhaps wiser. And she approaches you.
An older, wiser, busty servant.
Something like that.
Okay.
And she approaches, says, "So, I hear you've got the Goldsmiths Union after you. What's going on? What's going on there?"
I will wipe my hands on my apron or pants, whatever I've got, and
I sure hope you didn't bring any trouble into my establishment.
I'll put forward a small, petite elven hand and say, "I'm Selkie."
She looks down at your hand. Make a charisma check.
"22.
Still don't think she takes your hand. She says, Madam Lexam, now answer my question. Why were those? Why is the guild after you?
There was a misunderstanding some days or weeks ago where they were doing some crime, and I was helping out one of the knights who was arresting some of them, and I don't think they're too happy about it. I didn't actually hurt any of them or arrest any of them myself. I just, they fought the law and the law won.
Always some misunderstanding.
Isn't that just? Well, it's just so there's no misunderstandings between us. I don't want to work in your kitchens, but I have a lot of useful skills that you might be able to employ in other ways.
Absolutely. I could use a new elf girl. Last one,
You mean a new spy?
last one finally got over her gnome dust habit and saved up enough to get back home.
You mean you need someone who can get money from people who owe it to you? Or someone who can gather information about clientele or opposed business interests and report it back to you subtly without being seen or heard?
Yeah, that's all part of the job.
Not in a
Men's
bedroom?
lips are never looser than when his head's on the pillow.
Look, I'm a wizard of sorts and an excellent rogue, and I think I have more valuable skills than I make a gesture at her chest.
You know what my girls get paid?
No, nothing. What do they get paid? I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not my job. It's not what I'm here for. I got bigger dreams.
I don't think there is a more valuable skill in all of Solstice. But
Then what? Really?
Then-
Valuable skill? Isn't there like a shelf life on this skill? I don't see a lot of middle-aged women working here. What happens to your girls when they get older? You just throw them out?
you should bite that tongue
That's what they say.
before
a
someone
lot.
bites it off of you.
Look, see, I would make a terrible working
All right,
girl.
kid. I don't know
I
what
would
kind
be-
of trouble you're into, but I don't want none of it in my establishment.
I'm sorry, I talk
A
too
good
much.
thing going. You've worked off any debt you had.
I talk too
Thanks.
much. You shouldn't let me speak. You should just employ me and send me away from here where I can do what I'm good at and bring things back to you. You got any clients who haven't paid you? I could make my way into their houses, liberate their money, and bring it right back to you. Small fee.
I think you'd be better off taking up your proposition with the union.
They're not
Besides,
too happy with me.
I got Howard here to look after my girls.
Well, it's not your girls that need looking after. I'm sure every now and then someone a little out of Howard's reach might cross you, and Howard can't really go bashing down doors of nobles now, can he?
She stands there, cross-armed, looking at you. I said you're free to go.
And ever want a job? Please? Pretty please? Carry on top?
She looks over at the pile of dishes. There's still grease on these. And you said you're too good for the other work that I offered you. No, I don't think we have a job for you here. And I know that I don't want any of your trouble. So, get lost before any of those subterranean fellas find you.
I will reluctantly leave the tavern. I guess I'll have to head to the Screeching Siren. Thought this was the place.
You leave the kitchen and walk through the red velvet common room, although there's nothing common about it, and back out into the streets.
Okay. Back out into the streets. Play, Doctor, play. Alright, back into the streets. I will head down the docks and look for the Screeching Siren.
Yeah, I'm wondering which one.
This one, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be. Is this? Yeah, I think it'll be this one. All right, the Screeching Siren is a bit rougher of an establishment. The tavern, even though it's like 3 p.m, is packed full of sailors fresh off their ships,
Okay.
drinking and gambling and disrespecting the waitresses.
Ugh.
An unsavory lot.
Maybe I should just work
Unsavory
with the
establishment.
dwarves. I'm not really keen on working with a place that's so disrespectful, but hey, a job's a job, right? Sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and take crappy jobs in order to get where you want to go in life. So I will walk in and look for a matron, a madam. That's the term, madam.
Well, there are barmaids and barmen
Are
out and
there?
about taking orders.
Sure. I will go to the oldest looking barmaid or barman.
The oldest looking.
Yes, the one with the most grays in their hair.
There's a man with salt and pepper in his hair.
Excellent.
A teal vest. Yeah.
Okay.
You catch him as he's taking a tray of empty glasses back to the bar. Weave your way through the crowd of sailors and catch his attention.
Yeah, I'll grab his attention, flag him down, approach the table, the bar, and say, "Hey." Lean in close. I'm looking for some work of and I'm going to use some thieves' cant here to say alternative, like alternative facts type sort of thing. Alternative work.
He looks you up and down and says, make another charisma check, I guess. Just keep making them.
1 to 7.
You can see through your dirt and see that you're a pretty looking girl underneath. Yeah, we could use another girl.
I said alternative work.
What sort of alternative do you mean? He doesn't speak thieves' cant.
I'm getting that impression. You, I'm
He
sure
sets the
business like this has
the glasses down behind the bar.
runs into some problems from time to time that are outside of the normal realm of operations.
I got a tavern full of problems.
You have a boss?
Just look at these guys. Everyone's got a boss. Look, I'm busy. You want to order something or not?
Not. And I will head back out towards the docks. And I will look down the docks in the direction of the Dwarven Tavern, the one that I went into earlier. Take a deep sigh and walk back to it. But this time, I'm going to change into one of my disguises before I enter. I'm not going to walk in sort of blind.
All right. What do you disguise yourself as?
Let's see. First thing I'll do is I'll go to one of those rain barrels that collects water to put out fires around town, and I'm just going to rinse my face off, get it a little bit cleaner. Maybe wash my hands too. Then I will use a disguise to, let's see. I will use a wig to hide my elven ears and give myself like a different color hair. So instead of the, oh my god, it's not listed. My appearance is not listed. But there's a Selkie doodle somewhere. Where's the Selkie doodle? Somewhere. Matt did a Selkie drawing.
Yeah, I mean, there's your token.
Token. Ah.
I think that's
I
mostly
can't make it bigger
isn't it?
though. Yeah. Can you make the toker bigger?
Do you want to zoom in and look at the token? Is that the idea?
Okay, here we go.
You're about to like doodle your makeover?
No, I just wanted to know what I look like now so I can modify that for the future.
Did you forget what your character looks like?
I just wanted to make sure that it was consistent with the artwork because my descriptions are incomplete and I didn't want to improv and then improv contrary to the art. So I will put on a red wig with some curls, a little bit of more waves and curls into it, and make sure it comes down over my ears. I will take off my armor and wrap it up in a cloak.
I don't think you're wearing armor. You've got your armor spell cast.
Oh, that's right. I've got the armor spell cast. Perfect. So I will... What gear do I have on me? That's perfect. Then I guess that's all I really need to do. Maybe a, no, I'm still in the same clothes. They're dwarves. They probably can't tell the difference. If my hair is different all of a sudden, they'll probably not even understand. And I'll have my ears hidden so I won't look like an elf. And I think that'll do enough for now. And I will reapproach the tavern.
All right, let's roll a disguise check. I think at -5 to disguise your race.
Okay.
We can keep the -5 separate, maybe. So like, you fail at less than 5.
I do fail
so
at less than 5.
I think your feigned features show through. Even if your ears are covered, your cheekbones are too high, your
Okay.
movement's too graceful.
Right.
And yeah. All right, so let's shrink you back down. Oops. And you head back down the docks.
Mm-hmm. And I will poke my head into the door where I believe the dwarves are from.
Yeah, you enter this bar.
Right.
You aren't immediate. There's no immediate recognition. Although within a few moments of walking in, you catch some eyes. Not every patron in this bar is a dwarf, but there are a fair bit of them hanging around. It's getting on towards evening. There are a few torches lit, probably candles, little oil lanterns on the walls.
Yeah.
They there's more lanterns than there are lit, if that makes sense.
Right, they haven't lit all the lanterns yet.
Yeah, maybe they like it dim, or maybe they're just stingy with their lighting bill.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I will...
You've got a minute or so before the sideways glances start.
I will make my way straight to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah. And once I get there, I will take a look at the barman, who I think last time you said was a dwarf.
He was.
All right.
This one is not a dwarf. You see a human with shaved head, gold earrings, and he looks you up and down. Says, "You sure you're in the right place?"
I think so. I am looking for some alternative work with the thieves' camp.
Does pick up what you're putting down.
Smile.
He leans in. Roll a charisma check.
This is it. It's happening. 6.
What's your specialty?
Window washing. And dropping some eaves. A little bit of gardening here and there, you know what I mean? And also, I'm short and meek, and people tend to overlook me.
Those lads sure don't look like they've overlooked you.
Well, I know how to turn it on when I need to and how to turn it off. And I did want to get your attention.
So, looking for some second story work?
Absolutely. Really, anything you got. I'm just trying to establish myself to start.
Well, I can give you a line on some pre-approved residences in need of a good wash.
That would be great. And I'm sure there'll be a finder's fee for all of this. What's that gonna come out to?
A gold now for the intel, and 50% of your take.
Fine. I will slide one of my precious few gold coins onto the table.
He takes it, flips it around. Looks a little surprised that you had it on hand or turned it over. Gives it a bite and tucks it underneath the bar. In the old quarter, there's a wealthy old widower named Yising, half-elf. South side of town, he's got a manor with a garden out front. He's been reluctant to pay his guild dues. His windows are open for washing to any any independent contractors that come along.
South side of the old quarter with a garden. Huh?
Yeah. There's neighbors. But his house
Place
is
in
fair
question?
game. What's that?
Is this the place in question?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, I'm
you'll have
pointing
to
there
go-
on the map. This place.
I don't see your arrows, but you'll have to go explore. Oh yeah. I see now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. 50%, huh? Is there anything in particular that you need returned to you?
No, like I said, he's refusing to pay his dues, so he's no longer protected.
Well, that is a darn shame. You should know that it pays to be in good. Is there anything I should be aware of about this bloke? Guards?
He's got an
Dangerous?
old butler. He used to be used to be handy with a sword, but I don't know if he's still sharp. I'm sure the man's got silverware, vases. Rumor has it he's got a suit of plate mail in his.
I don't know how I
There.
can take a suit of plate mail out. That's a little
Shrugs.
big to move, but there are clearly plenty of other things I can get to. Thank you for your information. I'll see you with your cut in a few days. Oh, what's this gentleman's name? In case I happen. Oh, Yi Sing. Never mind. Half elf. All right. And you, sir, are?
I'm Chip.
Chip, huh? Lovely to meet you, Chip. Selkie racks her brain trying to remember if she told any of the dwarves her name, and decides that she hasn't. She says, I'm Selkie. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Selkie. Let me know when you're ready to fence those goods.
And I will leave quickly and then begin my search for the right place.
Sure.
Dark City track. There we go.
Okay. You step out of the dimly lit bar to a dimly lit dock.
Must be getting later in the day.
It is.
Wow. Well, I will make my way to the old quarter, which I do believe to be this, I can never remember if the old quarter is the red or the blue. I think it's...
Why don't you take a walk and use your eyes?
I will
Or
do so.
perhaps your mouth. And your ears.
I will attempt to do so at least. I will head up the steps and walk through this section. The blue's definitely the old quarter. Okay.
Yeah, so you're
Without a doubt.
walking through these marble streets. You're surrounded by enormous ancient stone buildings.
Mm-hmm.
This is certainly the old quarter.
Yeah. And I will meander through the streets looking for a house with a garden. And I think there are really only two options. It's either this place here, it's not a very good garden, or
more like a
this
dirt
place
patch.
here, yeah, which looks more like a garden.
Yeah. So you approach this little corner here. And at this point, it's getting on towards evening. I think by the time you reach it, there's a gate that is closed here, blocking off this little gated enclave. But you see inside a little fountain and some trees peeking over the tops of some of these front buildings, and a gate. There is actually an old guard, probably locking the gate as you approach. Or maybe he's just finished locking it, and he's like turned to walk back inside. You can gather his attention if you want, or approach stealthily.
No, but I'd just like a slightly more detailed description of the gentleman.
It's dark. Guess his age by his stooped posture.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got stiff, padded clothing, and a thin sword at his side.
Looks like the butler. So I will immediately. This gate. Is it like a gate that you could see through, like a wrought iron
it's like
gate?
Yeah, exactly. It's an iron barred gate. Yeah, you can see right through it to the fountain and the trees on the other side.
And there's a lock on the gate?
Yeah, there's a big iron chain and a padlock that the butler has presumably just locked over the gate, and he's now maybe a couple hundred yards into the garden walking back.
And the
towards...
wall on either side of the gate is more wrought iron or solid wall?
It's a mix of stone wall with iron bars. So like there's this big iron gate, and then there's like a stone pillar and a short stone wall that connects to some more iron bars.
Okay, so could I reasonably hide behind the stone pillar and reach the locking mechanism from there if it's on a chain?
No, the iron gate is probably 20 feet.
Okay.
Like probably 10-foot gate with a lock, with a chain.
Oh,
and
so
a lock
it's
in the
a
middle.
double doors with the lock
Yeah.
in the middle? Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, I definitely don't fit in around here.
No.
So I don't want to immediately start working on this stuff right
But
here.
the butler's already disappeared from sight.
Can I make a perception
And you-
check to sort of glance
Yeah, make a
around and
perception
see
check.
who's around me?
Yeah, make a check.
22.
The streets are more or less emptied. Perhaps like off in the distance around the corner.
Okay.
You see some people, but you feel like you're alone or concealed.
Okay. If I will take a moment then to take a look at these trees. I'll not stand directly in front of the gate. Maybe off to the side or something. Maybe on the other side of the street, actually, looking this way. And do any of these tree branches reach over the wall at all?
Some of them do just a bit, but the trees don't look like the easiest way in. Like like the tree branches hang a little ways over the wall, but they're like 30 feet up. Be a hell of a jump.
Okay.
The iron spikes at the top of the wall look a little bit forbidding, but you figure you might be able to climb it.
Climb it. Now this is Selkie's first real mission here. I know she's done some other stuff, but this is the one that she really wants to make a good impression on. So, I can either try and break in tonight, or why not? I could wait for more favorable conditions, like maybe a night with no moon, so my infravision will give me a stronger boost versus their lack of vision. Or I could try and get a way into the building during the daytime, like arrive as a cleaning person and try and like get the lay of the land of the inside before I break in. But I think I'm a little impatient for that. So why don't we do it tonight? Why not? Why not do it tonight? Oh, I know why not, because I only have the one spell. Now that I know where this is, I'm going to stay at the inn here in town tonight, and I will pick up a new spell in the morning. I'll pick up Unseen Servant come morning time, but in the meantime, I will just peace out and go to one of the regular taverns, not brothels, and spend the night there.
All right. Which tavern would you like to find? I assume you're avoiding the City Watch.
Yeah, not the one that I got kicked out of and had death threats leveled at me for.
Out here near the gate was the Traveler's Oasis.
That's right. Let's go there.
And I don't think we've established any other taverns, but...
Yeah, let's Traveler's Oasis this one up.
Okay. This is, I believe, just a common tavern. Yeah. 5 silver a night, room and board.
Perfect.
You have coin.
I do.
You can stay as long as you need.
Excellent. Well, I will stay the night, and I will lounge about during the day, thinking about my plans.
All right. You will gain 1 HP over the course of the night.
Back at 3 out of 10. Love it. Okay.
And unless you have more scheming to do, this seems like a reasonable spot for a break.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll be back on the other side of a break with a little more dicing with death.
Bye.